By the end of this video, my hope is that you'll feel not alone. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Emma of Life's with Emma, where we're at. My YouTube channel is primarily focused on my life with Tourette syndrome. This video is a little bit different than the videos that I usually make, but at the same time, it's not that far off. So I thought that I was done with depression before the other week. And as an advocate for mental health and neurological health, I can't tell you why I thought that. I'm supposed to be the person who knows better. And I do think that other people can relate to that. You know, I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder many years ago. But my silly little brain said, you haven't had a depressive episode in a couple of years, so you're probably off the hook. Joke's on you. Joke's on you, me. And as someone who generally radiates an overwhelming amount of positivity on the internet, debatably too much, sue me, no. But as that person, I just wanted to be really transparent about this not so positive experience. Because it happens, and it doesn't only happen to me or you or someone else, it happens to a lot of people. And another reason is all the people aforementioned, I never use that word, but it sounds really good when I use it, aforementioned. All the people aforementioned. Just going through my experience, I hope helps all of us feel less alone. So let's start at a fateful Saturday. I was actually having a day full of fun things. It was a packed day. I was doing stuff, but I was also feeling really emotional, and I just didn't feel right or normal, how I usually feel. And quite honestly, I had convinced myself, gaslit myself into thinking that I was about to start my time of the month 2 weeks early, which in hindsight, okay, Emma, really? But surprise, what it really ended up being was me spiraling into a depressive episode. And then the next day, on Sunday, I had an empty day. It was empty from happiness, joy, or just even normalcy, feeling a normal contentness. It felt wrong, and I could feel myself grasping for things to feel okay and not finding anything that actually made me feel okay. I was looking for happiness in the things that usually brought me happiness, and I couldn't even find glimpses of happiness in any of those things, making the day feel really empty. And by Sunday night, I was suicidal. I was in a place that I haven't been in years, where I was starting to plan to leave this world. And again, that hasn't happened in a very long time, and it was really unexpected for me. Because remember, I was done with depression, or so I, for some reason, told myself. But somehow, and I'm still really not sure how this happened, I called my parents for help. It's a little bit blurry, but I feel like a switch flipped before I was about to start some unreversible actions. So my parents came and they picked me up to stay with them. And then that Monday through Thursday, my parents were just there. Sometimes the support you need isn't other people trying to fix your problems or come up with solutions for you. It can be that in certain situations, but more often than not, good support is really just being there, listening, being there. I said that twice, I know, but it's important. They were there while nothing I liked made me happy. I didn't like making videos. I didn't like playing video games. Very weird. That's when you know it's weird. I didn't like music or watching TV, not even any of my really good, trashy reality TV shows. I didn't like any of it. I lost the feeling of motivation. Everything felt so overwhelming, and I was so tired. I was depressed. I've been having better days since then, but that was really only a couple of weeks ago. And that's the thing, it's kind of like this thing I've said in a different video regarding tics. You never experience something the exact same way, all the time, always, forever. Tics, depression, OCD, anxiety, all of it can be worse, and then better, and then average, and then good, and then worse, and then, whatever the pattern, it's dynamic. I know right now I have to be easy to myself and nice to myself, but I also cannot let myself get to that point that I was on that Sunday. It's a balancing act. Finding the sweet spot between pushing yourself too hard or not pushing yourself enough to feel okay. And besides to feel okay, to survive, and to survive well. 5 days after that Sunday, I had the idea to make this video, and I started to try to vlog, you know, me getting out of a depressive episode. I'm starting to film the part of this where I'm like actively taking steps to leave this depressive episode. And arguably I've been taking those steps. I mean, getting support from my parents and everything. And now that they're out of town, I guess it just kind of feels like the steps are a little bit harder, but thankfully today I do feel the most me that I've felt in a while. So yeah, I finished up work, I prettied myself up, and I hit the mall with my pal Megan.
Holy macaroni.
It was raining an ungodly amount, so I watched Megan eat a whole steak dinner. Then we were menaces at the bookstore. And we also did get some real reading in, but ultimately I did stop vlogging at around 10 clips, which is less than 1/10 of what I normally do. Because I could feel that I was pushing myself too hard at that time and I needed to maintain balance. You know, Megan and my parents were really great in helping me maintain the balance that I needed to maintain to get out of a depressive episode, but they weren't the only ones. You folks helped too. So many people reached out to me when I posted a story about not doing well and how I needed some patience from my community. I didn't go into any specifics. I didn't say anything that felt uncomfortable for me. I really didn't say much. But what I did say was something, and even that was really hard. But at the end of the day, I mean, just that step, that really is small, but in the moment feels huge. Of just saying something. No matter how big or small, no matter how much information you share, just saying something is so important. Because when you're depressed and you just say something, put something out there, I think a lot of people will surprise you. And as long as you try to balance, to survive well, and reach out in literally any type of way that makes sense for you, I think you'll find that we are not alone. Thank you all again so much for reaching out and being overwhelmingly amazing and beautiful and wonderful people. Thanks.